Aha! I finally finished installing my new hologram. Now I'll be able to communicate with my minions efficiently. If I had any minions, that is. What the? I haven't even gotten a number yet. Who in the galaxy?
See? I told you I could fix it.
Yes, you did. But it wouldn't need fixing if you didn't break it!
I didn't break it! It was having issues, and in a fit of rage, you smashed it to tiny bits! Sometimes I think I should... Symbiote, is there someone looking at us through the hologram?
Yes, there is.
Ah, perfect. A stylish bat pony and a sinister gooey companion. You will make excellent additions to my army. Your trial begins now. Tell me what you thought of Rainbow Roadtrip in under 10 minutes. Go.
Wait, what?
Hello my Fluffs, Lani your Fluff Dragon Overlord here with your weekly character creations and speed art. If you like what you see, help me to continue making this content for free by hitting that subscribe button and ringing that notification bell.
The story plays out like any MLP episode. The main six find a problem and help to fix it. I feel they did a good job with this. It was well paced, the story had a good flow, and we met some very interesting and intriguing characters along the way.
The premise of the story, I feel, sticks to the ways of the series. There's a problem, the main six fix the problem. But even though they believe it's a cause of magic, we find out it's much deeper than what we first assumed.
I've got to admit, when I heard the title Rainbow Roadtrip, and that this special would be animated in a similar style to the movie, I expected something a little different. I do enjoy that the storyline stayed true to the spirit of the show itself, but I feel they could have done so much more as well. With a title that says Road Trip in it, I suppose I was expecting a little more travel and exploration than remaining in one place the whole time, as adorable as that location was. Don't get me wrong, I thoroughly enjoyed this special, but the hook and story seemed like it had been done so many times over throughout the series. I think I wanted to see something a little more outside of the box. What do you think?
I also feel they could have done more with the opening, and the song just seemed like a newer version of the MLP opening song. It just seemed like they weren't in any rush. It's a celebration where Rainbow Dash is a special guest. I would have assumed that Rainbow Dash would want to get there as soon as possible.
It also seemed like how BronyCon called in the voice actresses to be special guests at their celebration.
Did we enjoy the special?
Yes!
But I do feel it could have been fleshed out a bit more.
Rainbow Dash's arc being kind of a mirror to the fandom like Slice of Life and Fame and Misfortune? I could see that. As a whole, I'd say the story was sweet, but not quite to the levels of epic I was hoping for.
Some of the pony designs are new, but there are a few recolors. One of the new ponies we see is Sunny Skies, who is the mayor of Hope Hollow. He's a blue unicorn with a white mane and tail, a good color scheme, and is like a normal pony in the show. He's a kind-hearted pony, but also feels like he let the town down.
Then we have one of my favorite characters in this special, Kerfuffle, who I think is adorable. I mean, her personality is unique just like her, and unlike everyone else, she has a prosthetic hoof, which is one thing a lot of people noticed after watching the special.
She has a Pinkie Pie personality, but is like Rarity. She enjoys creating clothes, and even though she can't see in color, she feels what those colors are. Finally, we have the twins, who we think are like any other siblings, always fighting, never getting along, but all they want to do is impress Rainbow Dash, since they are her fan club. They are high-spirited and trained to be just like their idol. How about you, Fluff? Any characters catch your eye?
Kerfuffle was certainly a favorite of mine, as I acted exactly the same way she did meeting Rarity when I first met Lightning Bliss. Fond memories. As for the other characters, I could see how it must have been a challenge to communicate certain personalities without color. Quite honestly, when I first saw the Hoofingtons, I was nervous we'd have a bit of a turf war. I should have looked at the circles and swirls in their design and been comforted, but I think it was their voices that put me off. I mean, just look at Mr. Hoofington's bubble stash. What about that says imposing rich snob to you? but that was the vibe I got. Confusing, I know. Petunia was one of my favorite ponies personality-wise. Her voice matched her perfectly, and I could giggle at her calling Sunny a big doofus all day. Moody Root was your typical grumpy grandpa, reminiscent of the grandfather from Heidi with his little hidden soft spot there. We see your sweet little grandpa self, Moody. Stop pretending. That brings me to my personal favorite character design that I really wish they'd done more with. Torque Wrench. The name is awesome. The design is fantastic, and her story is... I saw someone create a drawing with her as Rosie the Riveter, and it was so perfect I could cry.
The moral I find is deeper than some think. The moral I feel is never giving up on community, friends, or even family. This episode shows us what can happen when we give up on things like community. We close ourselves off from everyone. We become inward thinking of only ourselves. That's why I like Sunny Skies. He never gives up. He tried to get other ponies interested in the celebration again. But sadly, we all know how that turned out. But he never gave up, even after all that. He never gave up on the ponies of Hope Hollow, the town at the end of the rainbow.
You know what, Shadow? I never really looked at the moral of this story from that point of view before. When we go through difficult times, it can be easy to fall into the trap of trying to deal with it on our own. We don't want to, quote-unquote, bother other people with our problems, because we fear being a burden on those we care about. We forget that that's the whole reason we're all here, to uplift and care for each other. Friendship goes both ways, and when you don't let your friends be your friends, are you really friends? I also think there's a moral to Twilight wanting to focus on the mechanical symptoms rather than the issues at the heart of the problem. We see mental health symptoms more easily than the root and don't realize that if we don't take the plunge and get the real help we need, the problems are just going to keep coming back.
We must say that was enjoyable, but we think
The army you should be joining is ours.
I'm sorry, but as much as I admire your moxie, Lanugo Spatium Deconis does not follow. She leads. Should you change your mind, I'll be here. They'll be back. What could a bat pony and a tar smudge do that a space dragon could not?
We can still hear you, you know.
A very special thank you to my patrons, especially Shadow Symbiote, Gigabit the Saved Gamer, Queen Haiku, Thundernote the Change Pony, and Sharpwit for their generosity and epicosity in supporting this channel. If you guys would like me to come to a convention near you and join an incredible group of people on my private Discord server, click the link in the description below. Stay fluffy, my friends. See you next time.